You're live.
Mr. Chairman, it is 6:02 p.m. and we are live on YouTube.
Thank you very much and welcome everybody. So once again, boy, where's this year going? The April 7th, City of Lake Worth Beach Planning and Zoning Board's monthly meeting. Sherry, if you would, could you call roll?
Certainly. Greg Rice,
Here?
Anthony Murata,
Here.
Mark Hum,
Here.
Laura Starr, here, Robert Lipa,
Present.
Danny Tanner,
Here.
Juan Cotton. You have a quorum.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here. Welcome and welcome those of you in the chamber and those of you from sea to shining sea. Let's get this meeting on the road here as I like to announce as frequently as I can. A meeting should always end on the same day it begins, so let's get it going. Pledge of Allegiance. Who hasn't done the Pledge of Allegiance in a while?
I haven't.
Well, go ahead and get up and do it for us, Sherry.
Before we get started, Laura, make sure you're muted.
I just did.
Okey doke.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And thank you, Sherry. I think that's the first time we've done that with Sherry. Aaron, do we have any additions, deletions? I hope not.
No, Mr. Chairman, we do not.
Thank you. We're good. Then we'll just move right along with the agenda as published. Approval of minutes. Who had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting? The March 3rd.
I actually plowed through them and they look pretty good to me.
Well, Mr. Lipa says that. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Mark seconded. All those in favor of accepting as presented, published, say aye.
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 Unanimous again, Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, this is the spectators and witnesses audience participation part of the program here. If you're going to be speaking in any way, fashion, or form at tonight's meeting, if you would, please. And we want to do it one at a time, or how are we going to do this, Sherry?
Do you want to move? First, I want to ask all the panelists, the attendees, applicants be moved over. Are they there? Sorry.
You want to do them one at a time, or you want to?
All together. If you can
Okay.
all turn on your cameras and unmute, we'll swear everybody in at the same time.
Right.
Staff
Great.
and applicants.
Thank you.
We need to be able to see everybody. So Mr. Jackman, if you could please turn on your video. All right, I think we have everybody. Sherry, if you want to go ahead and get started.
All right, because I cannot see them.
Hold on one second, Sherry.
There's one.
Okay,
There's
that's it.
two. Three.
Four.
There we go. What a good looking group.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
Straighten
everybody,
that hair up for him, would you? He's on TV.
I think you can't see me. They can't see me. So if you see me, please raise your right hand. Everyone who's going, do you swear and affirm the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, say yes.
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 Thank you.
So if you can go ahead, if you are not a staff member, please mute and mute yourself. Mr. Akers, I'm going to put you as an attendee until your item is up. You will not be able to speak or be on video, but you can message us.
But we will be back with you.
Don't get off. the meeting.
Proof of publication was in the package since tonight's meeting for one of the cases, the first one, is a continuation from a meeting last month. It was published in last month's package. So that was the,
There was no proof of publication because the item was continued to a date certain, so one was not required, Mr. Chairman. I think Greg, are you there? Did we lose you? I think you froze. Mr. Murata, you may have to take over as temporary chairman to get the item started if Greg doesn't rejoin in a minute. Yeah,
Okay.
I think, go ahead.
All right. We just calling the item number, is that where he was?
Yeah, he was about to open the first item on the agenda.
All right. Let me just get to that spot here. All right, PZB project number 20-014-00050. A request by Janet Rosa for consideration of a major site plan, conditional use, and sustainable bonus incentive program to construct a triplex at 1332 South L Street within the mixed-use Dixie Highway zoning district, parcel control number 38434427010640010.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Staff does have a presentation. Oh, we have Greg back. Greg, staff does have a presentation if you'd like us to proceed. Mr. Murata read the item. Open it. Are you there? I think we'll just.
yes, I'm here.
Okay, we'll continue with the staff presentation if you're good with that.
Thank you, please.
All right,
Carry on.
Andrew, please take it away.
Good evening. Excuse me. My name is Andrew Meyer, Senior Community Planner, and I will be presenting unfinished business item A, a request by Janet Rosa for consideration of a major site plan, conditional use, and sustainable bonus incentive program to construct a residential triplex at 1332 South L Street. As a reminder, Janet Rosa, the owner, with Matt Fino, are requesting to build a 3-story residential triplex consisting of a total of 3 units. As such, the owner is requesting the following approvals: a major site plan for the development of a 7,835 square foot residential triplex, sustainable bonus incentive program for the addition of a 3rd floor totaling 3,004 square feet, and a conditional use permit to establish residential uses in excess of 7,500 square feet. At the March 3rd, 2021 PZB meeting, the item was continued to April 7th as the revised drawing discussed by the applicant was not provided to staff prior to or at the meeting. On April 5th, 2021, staff received an update in elevation in addition to updated renderings of the site. The updated elevations show that the 2nd and 3rd floor windows of the middle unit were centered over the middle unit garage door per zoning comments. In addition, awnings were added to select windows. The provided renderings reflect the changes indicated on the elevations. The rest of staff's prior conditions are still applicable and are recommended as part of this approval. If you'd like to go over any of the conditions, I have that slide available.
Thank you, Andrew.
This concludes the updated portion of staff's presentation. Mr. Chair, per your direction, I can either continue with the rest of the presentation as presented on March 3rd, or we can continue with the applicant's presentation.
If it's all right with Aaron, I don't think we need to rehash the things that were discussed and agreed upon, although not voted upon in the March meeting. So can we
We
proceed?
thought you'd say that, so that's why we separated the presentation. So
And
we're
you know
good.
what? You guys are really good. You are really good. Anyhow, does everybody have the revised renderings and the ones from last time that you can pull out and have in front of you?
Yes.
Thank you. And comments, I don't know who made comments last month to ask for these changes to be made, but if you or that person, that these meet more of the appearance and criteria that you were hoping to see.
Mr. Chairman, the applicant does have a brief presentation as well. They'd like to.
Oh, I'm
run
sorry.
through.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much. They certainly deserve their chance to speak before the board. Would you guys like to go ahead and give us an update on what you did, and are you happy as well?
All that was updated was the centering of the windows per your request. And I organized the drawings and the renderings within a PowerPoint presentation to not commit the same blunder I did last time. And I want you guys to know that I really do respect your time, and I am sorry that it wasn't ready. This is my first time and it'll never happen again. I'm sorry.
Janet,
If you have any questions, you can ask my architect, I guess.
what will never happen again? I hope not that you will never come back before this board asking for do another project, because this looks pretty good.
I would hope to do another project again. I just meant that me not having the drawing last time to you was just, I was not completely prepared because this is the first time that I've done a big project like this. Hopefully I'll have enough money to do it again. But I just want you to know that my upsetting the board last time was just from lack of knowledge, not that I don't respect your time, because I respect your time.
Well,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
talk less because I don't, and I'm just not gonna say anything. And then if you have any questions, my architect, Albert Jackman, I guess, knows more than me, so.
Okay.
And Janet, just to clarify, nobody on the board was upset. We just needed clarification, and you've brought it forth on this round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, it's Uncle Bim's.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, is this the Hollywood Squares?
Yes.
Brady Bunch.
There you go.
Okay. So I guess if Mr. Lipa is happy with the changes, I am certainly pleased. I was not physically at the last meeting, as I am not this month, but Mr. Murata did a great job chairing that discussion, and if Bob, if you're happy with the changes that are made and you want to make a motion or say something else, or if any other members of the board would like to make a comment at this time, please let me know. Raise your hand. Jump up and down.
If
Go
I
ahead, Bob.
could,
Go ahead.
at the last meeting, there was mention of them putting in a sidewalk on 14th, which really I don't see why. And I hope that's not part of the proposal, because the road comes in and goes into a dead end. So for sidewalks for them to pay for sidewalks would be my comprehension. I don't see it as needed unless somebody else does and who has more experience and knowledge than I do.
Any other board members want to
Yeah.
comment about that?
There was another thing, I know that they did something on the windows, but there was also an alignment of the bottom door that Mr. Jackman told me that he would do. On the bottom first floor, there was an alignment of the doors that was also a little bit off there.
Juan, what door was that?
That's down on the bottom on the elevation. First floor, there's a column like directly in front of it. And he said he'd line it up with that column, and then there was a sidewalk issue as well.
Right, that was what Bob was mentioning, I think.
Yeah, so if you see okay, let me see. There was a door, yeah, I think he pushed them back. The one there where the column is, one on the right side, one on the left side. There's the furthest door to the left, and there's another door right there.
Right, there's two doors. Then there's a garage looking door there, right? Big one. Yes.
Right. I guess that's fine the way he's got it. It's all right.
Good.
The other one was just stuck out before. But what's happening with the sidewalk? Is that going to happen, or what's the story? I don't see it in the renderings.
It's not there. Bob mentioned that as well.
And at the last meeting, I had mentioned I don't see a reason for it. And the reason being, at 11th Avenue North, the residents between Lakeside and Golfview had actually paid for the road to be created, paved, whatever, and sidewalks were not needed. This is very similar in appearance, very similar in foot traffic. And actually, the only foot traffic I could see would be for the 2 units off of L Street, and really not for anybody else.
My feeling on that is if there was a sidewalk that was running perpendicular to the street, and the only people that are gonna use that would be maybe at a party or something, they'd park along there if they couldn't find a place to park. But there's the likelihood of them walking down to a sidewalk they're gonna go through the grass anyhow, for the most. Hopefully, there won't be much of that.
Public Works did not require a sidewalk on that right of way. There is a condition of approval for the improvement. I believe they were supposed to, Andrew, can you please read the condition from Public Works? I believe they were supposed to pave half of the roadway. Is that correct? We can pull that up for you in the conditions of approval.
Yes, one of the conditions was the applicant shall reconstruct the unimproved roadway on 14th Avenue South per the limits depicted in the plan design. Compliance with the Public Works Department specifications. The plans depict a note stating the street to be paved by the city. However, this is in reference to the southern 10-foot of roadway and is dependent on funding and budget constraints. The applicant will construct the north 10 feet of roadway.
Will that be done simultaneous to one another, or should he wait to, or should the applicants wait?
They'll coordinate with Public Works, and they can probably just have them go ahead and do it, honestly, and then just come back in and do the other side when the budget's there, and then do an overlay, most likely, is what they'll require. So,
Okay.
But that would be up to the Public Works Department. So,
And just, if I could interject 1 second, the whole idea with making the sidewalks is we're living in a pretty urban type of environment. And the whole idea of making the sidewalks is really delineating the street and the rest of the city as it grows. So if you leave parts of it without it, it just leaves pieces of the city not being walkable or things like that. And also there's handicap requirements and things like that. So, yes. Yes, the applicant?
But the
Go ahead,
road,
Janet.
the road is a dead end. There's nothing at the other end. So it would be like walking to a road to nowhere. And the thing is, if we put in a sidewalk and then we don't know what the lot next door is gonna happen, and then we have a half a road while we wait for Public Works, it's just gonna it's not gonna look good. You know,
Is that really a dead end? I thought that street people
yes,
drive
yes.
through it.
No, if you drive by the property and you'll see there's a dead end right there that blocks us from reaching the other side.
And on the other side of the road, there's no sidewalk on the other side. So if you're coming from the other side of the street, there's no sidewalk on the other street that's east of that.
So can a person walk through that?
And I understand what you're saying there. And one, if you'd seen it, because the road is not a thoroughfare and it just has pillars so that the roads won't be completed. That is why my suggestion for no sidewalk would be there. At some point, who knows, maybe they'll make that a thoroughfare, but at this point, certainly don't see it. It would be a sidewalk to nowhere. It would be like a door on the outside, on the second story of a house without a porch.
So you're telling me that there won't be a parking apron? You've got cars coming in and out of there. You're gonna go into the dirt, from the dirt into your garage or into your driveway
There's a driveway and a road.
and a road. So you're actually doing the road.
Yeah, we have to do the road as per Public Works because we
Right.
have to do half and then either the neighbor or Public Works has to do the other half.
The other half. No, I
So
understand.
we're
that.
not gonna drive over the grass. We'd be driving through the road and then into the driveways and the garage.
The
And
road ends at the alley.
Yes.
there's 2-car garages and they're like 4 bedrooms. So it's really like if you had like a mom and a dad and a teenage kid, there's enough parking within the garage and the driveway that there's not gonna be any cars parked on the road anyway.
Well, there's a dirt road at the moment, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the dirt road, if you're gonna do half of it, what I'm trying to get to is, you're gonna improve it, and you're basically gonna come in on a dirt road and go into your property off of a dirt road, or half of a dirt road, is that how what I'm reading? Because you only have to do half of that side.
Yeah, until it's improved, and then we have a paved road until Public Works actually does the other half. Property on the south side of the property on the south side of the street would actually, I would assume, do the other half.
Yeah, well, I guess that's up to, it's up to Public Works. For me, the biggest thing is there might be some bolsters there of stopping people from going to the other side. And I guess it's dirt on the other side too. But in terms of, let's say people, I don't know, right now you're saying, yeah, nobody goes there, but there are people that live in this community that'll come through. I know that, they've gone through great lengths to do ADA things, to make the curb cuts, to do everything that they have to make it so it's a walkable type of a street. But if Public Works says they don't want to do it, that's fine with me.
It's so close to Dixie Highway by literally 2 houses that if it was a question of somebody wanting to drive a vehicle through or walk through, it's like, right. So there's another within a stone's throw, an area where the person could technically use a sidewalk to get through the thoroughfare. If you know what I mean?
Well,
Driving, because the road doesn't go.
Because there's no road to go through on our side of the house.
right, no, I understand about the road, but there's pedestrian access is what I'm talking about. And
Yes,
that's
but-
the kind of thing-
Okay.
Pedestrian access, they could go through, and it would be easier to come through if you had a wheelchair, if you were on a, walking a child on a, in a stroller or something like that. But anyway, this is why cities plan sidewalks. If Public Works is not asking you to do it, I'm not completely, I guess, against it, but I would prefer to have a sidewalk. That's just a preference. Okay, that's all that's my piece.
Thank you, Juan. Anybody else? Board members? Looks like, well, anybody want to make a motion either way with a sidewalk, without a sidewalk? As condition of approval?
Based on what I see there, I would make the motion to approve it without a sidewalk.
Well, is that a motion?
That would be,
That would just be a motion to approve the staff conditions.
Did you hear that, Bob?
I did. So then I would also, based upon the competent substantial evidence presented in the staff report, including the data and analysis and the testimony presented at the hearing, I move to approve PZB project number 20-014-00050 with staff recommended conditions for a major site plan, conditional use and sustainable bonus incentive program to construct a triplex at 1332 South L Street.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Mr. Jackman, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to get your SAG card tonight, but then I'm going to call for the vote. All those in favor of the previously stated motion, please say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, can we do a roll call vote just because?
I
we
was
have
going to
more-
ask the same thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Sherry, did you hear Aaron?
I did.
Now you're on.
Okay. Juan, Danny Tanner,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Laura,
Nick.
Mark,
Aye.
and Anthony,
Aye.
and Greg.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-1.
There you go.
Oh my God.
It's
I
Miller,
love you guys so much.
it's
Thank
Miller
you.
time.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We worked so
Well,
hard to get this
good.
done. I love you guys.
Good luck to you and let us know when the housewarming is.
Yes, for
Oh
sure.
my
Thank you
God,
so
for
much.
sure.
Thank you.
so much. Love you guys.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
That's not mine.
Almost like winning the publishers clearinghouse sweepstakes. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, then let's go on to some new business. This is what we like to see here in Lake Worth. PZB board project number 21. That's the nice number to use. 21-005-00002. A request by Les Acres of Wayne Acres Ford for consideration of a conditional use to establish a plus or minus 17,385 square foot truck rental use area at 2000 10th Avenue North in of course in Lake Worth, within the multi-use West MUW West zoning district, and the subject property and property control number are 38-43-44-20-15-001-0000, and once again 38-43-44-20-028-00010. Who's going to do the presentation on this?
Andrew's going to do the presentation again, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Okay, Andrew, whenever you're ready.
All right. Good evening again. For the record, again, my name is Andrew Meyer, Senior Community Planner, and I will be presenting new business item A, a request by Les Acres of Wayne Acres Ford for consideration of a conditional use to establish a approximately 17,385 square foot truck rental use at 2000 10th Avenue North within the Mixed Use West zoning district. Les Acres of Wayne Acres Ford is requesting the approval of a conditional use for the establishment of a truck rental use. The truck rental business will be occupying existing parking spaces, which were formerly set aside for the use of the used auto sales business currently on the site, with the truck rental business operating alongside the used car and auto repair businesses on site. No site modifications are proposed as part of this request. The subject site is located on the north side of 10th Avenue North between Boutwell Road and Detroit Street. The site is located within the Mixed Use West zoning district and is adjacent to property zoned multifamily residential, 20 units an acre, industrial park of commerce, public, and mixed use west. The site currently contains Wayne Acres Ford, which operates as an auto sales and major auto repair use. As you can see in the bird's eye aerial, the site is surrounded by a mixture of uses, including commercial, residential, and vacant uses. These photos show the site as it is seen from 10th Avenue North. As stated earlier, the proposed truck rental business will be operating alongside the used car and auto repair businesses on site. The use will be occupying existing parking spaces which were formerly set aside for the used auto sales use, and as such, no site modifications are proposed as part of this request. The table outlines the future land use, zoning districts, and current uses of the properties that surround the subject site. Since the use area is located towards the interior of the site, it will have little impact to the adjacent properties. Based on staff's analysis and the city's land development regulations, the proposed use is compatible with the surrounding uses. Going into staff's analysis, the proposal is found to be consistent with policy 1.1.1.6 of the city's comprehensive plan and pillars 2A and 2D of the city's strategic plan. Staff recommends that the board approve the conditional use request. The conditions of approval are outlined on page 9 of the staff report. If you'd like to go over any of them, I have a slide available. This concludes staff's presentation. The applicant will now briefly speak about the project and is available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Okay, who will be speaking on behalf of the applicant?
I will, Les Akers. I'm trying to give you a video right now.
Well, I'm looking for you on,
I'll start,
Screen.
somebody blocked me. Here we go. Here we go.
I
Good
can hear
evening.
you. There you go.
Good evening. How are y'all?
Good. Les, how's things up in Tallahassee?
Oh, they've been great. They've been great. Long time no see, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good for a guy my age.
Hey, good to see we're both around still.
That's right. And we still got most of our hair.
It's been a long time. I hope you're doing well. So basically, the materials you have presented before you and by the presentation made by Mr. Meyer, I'm requesting a long-term activity that's been part of the Wayne Acres Ford umbrella for many, many years be approved as a conditional use under the city ordinances. Apparently, our truck rental operation is now designated as a non-compliant use on the dealership premises because I'm told there were some unintended consequences of a previously passed ordinance, which staff would have to comment on. I'm just doing by what I was told. This rental operation has been part of the Wayne Acres Ford family operation since 1971, and back when we used to operate over on Dixie Highway. Wayne Acres Ford has been a local business, a member of the Lake Worth community since 1955, and we've always tried to be a good corporate citizen. Basically, I'm just asking that the rental trucker operation be allowed to operate at our main dealership facilities on 10th Avenue. And therefore, respectfully, I request that the board approval be given for this conditional use permit that you have before you tonight. I'll be available for any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Rice, I can explain, the truck rental was approved on the parcel that came before you as the 7-Eleven project.
7-Eleven, that's right.
And the parcel was sold off. The use approval was not combined with the main dealership approval, and the use table changed to require conditional use approval, not an administrative use approval for this. So Mr. Akers is before you today, not as an administrative. He was not able to pursue the administrative approval process for use because of that change to a conditional use in the table modifications we did over the summer. So that's the background on that.
Thank you. Okay, board members, questions, please. I'm not sure. Laura, did you raise your hand? I saw something flickering in the light. Okay. A minute, let's back up material for this. Anybody have any questions? Any problems with what you see that putting that truck rental business back out there?
If I may, because I'm not shy.
No, I didn't see you. There you go. Go ahead, Bob. Lead it off.
First and foremost, Wayne Acres has been a great asset to Lake Worth. I've been here since '85. Your reputation preceded you, and nothing but good has ever come from it. The only question that I have, and it would be, I'm not sure for who, but the permeability of the area exceeds current permeability regulations. And kind of my question, a thought, or something to toss out there is, if this was going to be a new business and Wayne Acres were to sell the property and somebody else took it over, would they have to increase permeability? And whether or not it's answered really doesn't matter. But would Wayne Acres consider, should a time come where some of the asphalt has to be repaired or replaced, instead of paving over, would you consider putting in those paver bricks that allow, they have holes, I don't know what they're called, but they have holes in them that allow rainwater to soak through? It's still kind of like a driveway, but it just allows water to go into the ground rather than as a runoff. And I'm just tossing it out there.
I'm not sure I'm not sure I understand the question. I know what we complied with whatever the requirements were at the time that the facilities were constructed back in '78 and 2001. But
And the staff, Mr. Akers, the staff report reflected that. I'm sure you saw that. So, and Bob's not asking, he's not saying that would hold up the what you're trying to do here, but he's saying at a future date, we're hoping that you're going to be a part of the community for another 50 years. And and rent those trucks out. I'll come down and
Thank you,
rent a
Greg.
Bronco. I wanted to see what they drive like. They look great on TV.
Okay. I can't speak for the future. I think if you saw the narrative that I presented to the staff that I think was passed on to you because it became part of the public records. I sold the businesses and the underlying property closed back in February. And this was something that had been in the works for a little bit of a time. And so, as you know, Greg, I've been up here in Tallahassee for a bit. None of my children wanted to pursue it. But I found an excellent buyer that has similar feelings that we do as far as the way they take care of their employees. They're privately owned, and they agreed. Actually, they asked for and I gave them permission to continue to use the Wayne Acres Ford name. That's the kind of feeling they had about that. They believe in being part of their community, and I just needed to resolve this issue that I wasn't aware of until after there'd been several discussions with staff when we were trying to renew our license back in beginning of October. And this, of course, was a result of inadvertently something that came up because we relocated the business from the property down the street onto our main dealership facilities, which of course has gone hand in hand with everything we've operated out of on all the different aspects of the Wayne Acres Ford umbrella. So Bob, if I may call you Bob, I can't answer that question because I wouldn't be personally in control of that.
I understand completely. If you could pass the wish along to the future.
I will certainly do that. The Ahmed family is well respected out of Miami, and they're already hitting all cylinders and doing very well and pumping those tax dollars back into Lake Worth.
And there we go. Congratulations, I guess I should say.
Yeah, it's been a long time. 65 years in the family. Long time.
Good job.
Passing those tax dollars and electric rates.
Well, that too. That's exactly right. Can't do anything but increase them.
I think I was told that next to the Palm Beach State College, you're Lake Worth's biggest utility customer, electric wise.
I wouldn't be surprised. We're not trying to outdo everybody, but it is what it is.
Well, we hope you do. Anyhow, Bob, but does that satisfy your question? Or
It did. It really wasn't a question. It was more of a comment and hope for the future.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else? Anthony, you have a question? I know I can't see you.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Members on the dais up there, questions, comments? Juan?
No, I think we're good. These guys are just moving over from the other side.
Yep, that's it.
Mr. Chairman, did you want to check with Sherry to see if there was any public comment on this item? I don't believe there was.
I don't know if there.
No, we did not have
Sherry,
any.
is there any comments?
No, we had nothing come in prior to or in the during the meeting.
That means they're all happy. Well, who would like to make a run at this one?
I'm sorry, you asked me a question?
No, Mark, you want to help us with this?
Yeah, I can do it.
We haven't heard your friendly voice yet tonight.
I move to approve PZB project number 21-005-00002 with staff recommended conditions for a conditional use permit to allow a truck rental use at 2000 10th Avenue North. The applicant meets the conditional use criteria based on the data and analysis in the staff report.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second? Is that you, Bob?
Second. Me.
Is that you, Juan?
Yes.
Mr. Compton, yes.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussions, comments? I'd like to call for a vote once again. Sure, if you would.
Okay. Juan,
Yes.
Danny,
Yes.
Robert Lipa,
Aye.
Laura. Yes. Mark,
Yes.
Anthony,
Aye.
and Greg.
Yes, indeed.
You have it. 7-0, unanimous.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the board's consideration, and we will endeavor to continue to be, at least as much as I can influence the new buyers, a good corporate citizen for Lake Worth Beach.
Well, you're a pretty convincing guy, so I don't think you have any problem with that, Les.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it very
You
much.
betcha.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Getting back to the business at hand. That's it for new business tonight. I'm almost afraid to ask, but Aaron, do we have any planning issues that you'd like to?
We do,
share or
Mr.
discuss
Chairman.
with
If you recall, we never completed the election. That was continued to this
That's
hearing.
correct.
So if you all wanted to proceed with your annual reorganizational meeting with your election of your chair and vice chair, that would be fine.
How do we want to do this? Is our attorney here?
Yes, she is. Miss Garrett, are you present here?
Yes,
I didn't see you in the video today. Oh, how are you
Here I
doing
am.
this evening?
I'm doing
Thank
well.
you for
thank
being,
you.
thank you for being with us. How do we want to handle this election that we're referring to? I thought campaigning was over. All the signs are down.
Got one in my car.
There you go. How do you want to do this, Susan?
Well, if that's a question for me, I have not seen how you all have done this before. I suppose that the rules of order would call for someone to take the gavel to ask for nominations and then vote.
So then we will do it from a nomination point of view. Would anybody like to so we're appointing the chair or voting for the chair and for the vice chair. Is that correct?
That's
Aaron?
correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
Those are the only two.
Greg, can I jump in and make a motion to nominate you as chair, please?
You just did.
Second.
Very good.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
And
Susan, as he is the only nominee, unless there's a nominee on the floor, should Mr. Rice keep the gavel or should he pass the gavel?
I
I'd
should
like to
pass the
pass it.
gavel if the vote is going to be taken on that nomination, yes.
Okay.
I'd like to pass the gavel to our vice board chair for the vote for that, correct? Is that
And I
right?
assume that that's acceptable since I made the motion prior to now chairing the meeting, correct?
I believe so. You were not the vice chair when you made them. I mean, you were not chairing the meeting when you made the motion.
Great. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Lipa.
Seconded by Bob. Although, Sherry, you want to do a roll call?
Are there any other nominations? Let me ask that.
Well, we can do them one at a time.
Okay.
Are there any other nominations for chair? I think you
For
have to
chair.
determine
I
that
was
before
asking.
you vote.
Correct.
My mistake.
No, it's fine, Anthony. None being offered forward. Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, with none being there, Sherry, can we call for a roll vote, please?
Sure. Juan,
Aye.
Danny,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Laura. Aye. Mark
Aye.
and Anthony.
Aye.
And I suppose I would call for the chair. Greg, you
Yes.
accept the motion, I'm assuming, Greg?
I'm honored to be able to serve this board. I've been on a lot of volunteer boards, as have all of you guys have, but I think I've never worked with a board that was as well prepared coming to these meetings as I have with you guys most of the time. And like I said, I've served on a lot of boards, and they walk in the room and they have that look of haven't even seen the backup, much less read it. Look on their face, but you guys, and you've always participated in a very professional way that it is. I'm pleased to be able to serve in the chair capacity once again. Thank you. And now we need to fill that vice chair's seat. So I'd like to
Mr.
pass the
Chairman, if-
gavel. I'd like to pass the gavel to somebody. And Anthony, I'm passing the gavel to you. Excuse me. Mark, I'm passing the gavel to you so I can make a nomination. I'd like to nominate Anthony Morato as vice chair once again of the Planning and Zoning Board.
Without discussion, I would second that.
We have a motion and a second, okay? And now we have discussion. Mark, you're running this part of the meeting now.
Oh, okay, do we have any discussion?
No.
Can we go for a vote?
You can, yeah, you can ask if there's any other nominations. That's-
Are there any other,
No other discussion, no other.
no other discussions, no other nominations? Everybody's good? Call for a vote.
Go ahead, call for the vote. Sharon,
Juan?
it's up to you now.
Okay, Juan,
Aye.
Danny,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
alternately Robert or Bob, depending on the, Laura. Aye. Mark,
Aye.
Anthony,
Aye.
and Greg.
Proud to say aye.
You have it.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
We thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. I give it back to you.
Okay. Barely warm, okay. Is there any other housekeeping or other things that we need to do, Aaron or Susan?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Now, you want to talk about planning issues? Are there any?
I believe there's public comment on non-agenda items. Sherry, did you confirm? I don't believe there's any.
Do we have any public comment, Sherry?
No, I have nothing on anything else on non-agenda items.
Thank you. And we didn't have anything on the agenda item, so it's par for the course.
Oops.
So for department reports, you will have, we are anticipating that you will likely have 2 larger items coming to you at the next hearing. This is the Deco Green project, which has approximately, it's 126 multifamily unit project on the parcel north of the mid. And then we are also anticipating the 3300 Boutwell Road apartment complex coming before you. That is located basically in the southwest corner of Boutwell Road and 10th Avenue North. I believe that project is about 200 units. It's on the vacant parcel just south of the hotel that under construction, the Wyndham.
And fairly close to White Acres Ford. Yes,
That's one we did before.
yes, we did. But it was sent to the it was sent to the commission last night, wasn't it?
That was Avenue.
No, the commission heard, they heard the Golden Roads project.
That's
which
it,
we
okay.
heard last month.
Okay, well, and that's how many units is that?
The Golden Roads is 230 units,
Right, but I mean, the one that we're gonna be discussing.
200 units.
200 units.
Mhm.
Big demand for apartments out that way, big demand for apartments everywhere.
Yeah, there's a strong market demand in the county for multifamily apartment units. In fact, the county is actually constructing as a whole less multifamily than what would be kind of like peak demand for that. So there's a high demand for that unit type.
I saw in the online version today of the Palm Beach Post in West Palm up there by the Rybovich Marina, a proposal for a couple of high-rise, I would call them, rental apartments going anywhere from, I think it was $3,000 a month to $7,000 a month. So I guess there is a demand for rentals in all spectrums of the market. That I'm glad that people are finally discovering Lake Worth. Aaron, the project that you talked about on Dixie next to the mid, is that a different developer than both the?
Yeah,
the
it's
mid
it's a different developer. I don't have that information pulled up right now in front of me. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they're actually coming through with a concept. The Deco Green concept is they're going to have a central open green, and it'll be a mixed use project as well. There'll be some non-residential buildings. So it'll be an interesting project. So
well, let's pat ourselves on the back, you guys especially. The Bohemian has started work. I see it every time I drive by now. I don't know what they're doing today, but they were working out there. And that's great to see.
yeah, it is. You guys saw that in the summer, I believe.
Yes, we did. Anything else that we need to be aware of?
No, not at this time.
Okay, well, thank you. And board members, do you have any comments you'd like to share with the audience?
I do, if you don't mind.
Bob, never would we mind.
Depends. The new hotel or the new condos, apartments coming up on Boutwell and 10th Avenue. What is the game plan with 10th Avenue and the widening of it? It's county. I know that it's out there. I've heard the terms. But I hear it. I think I know what it means. And yet, when will the road be widened? Traffic right now is truly a nightmare, east-westbound. And is there anything coming forth?
I haven't heard of any timeline specific for the construction of the widening. I do know that they are moving forward to reconfigure the I-95 interchange into a diverging diamond pattern, and that the DOT believes that will relieve backup at the light, which causes congestion and backup from 95 back onto 10th for the eastbound traffic. So, the timelines we can talk to the county. Last I remember, they have not entered into the design phase or the right-of-way acquisition phase. So we can get an update from the county.
And that's just for the interchange, correct?
No, that's not for the interchange. That's for the widening. The interchange.
Oh, the widening as well, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to speak on it. I don't have my notes on when the timeline for the construction of the interchange, but they're getting ready to start really designing the interchange. They're at the end of the selection process and probably really working into their design phase end of this year, beginning of next year, and then construction will be starting after that. So we're looking at a couple years. So I believe they're going to be starting with the Boca interchange or one of the interchanges in the south first with the new type. So we'll kind of get to see how that works and functions first in some other places. They're a little bit ahead of schedule. But I believe that's the configuration they're planning to apply to all the interchanges in Palm Beach County because of the volume of traffic at each one of those.
Well, great. Well,
Aaron, is there any possibility that we could have somebody from the county come out and give us a presentation as to what they're looking to do, when they're looking to do it, and how it would look?
I don't know if we'll get a presentation, but I can go back, I think and go look at my notes and information, and we can provide what we last heard from the county. And if we can get somebody, we will. But that's probably not likely, but we could probably get an update. And I know we got an update. I just don't remember. I just wasn't planning. We have a lot going on. I wasn't planning to speak to it tonight, so I just don't have it off the top of my head. So
no, that makes perfect sense. For me, it's kind of a challenge to add more traffic to 10th Avenue without knowing timelines and whether or not it can, when relief will come. Because currently, it's I have friends at the Florida Mango and 10th Avenue, and I'll take Forest Hill rather than 10th Avenue, depending on the time of day. So truly, I'd hate to live out there and deal with that. And then add to the congestion as well. So that's why I'm asking what I'm asking.
But you know, Bob, you've lived here a long time. I've lived here all my life in Palm Beach County. And we've seen this place grow, especially in the last 10, 15 years. It has boomed. And now if you, my apartment here in the Lucerne, the centerpiece of downtown West Palm, Lake Worth Beach, looking back toward West Palm, it looks like Miami with the sky cranes up and what have you. We used to be a little sleepy, little skipped over town for just about everything. And if you remember driving up US 1, big open spaces on US 1 between Lantana and Hypoluxo, between Hypoluxo and Boynton, and you remember it. I remember.
Don't
it.
forget Congress, 2 lanes, Shell Rock, and then dead end into a farm in Boynton.
Yeah, cow pastures.
That was not complete. So we're seeing the changes as we add to the growth. Can we keep traffic flowing? That's a concern.
Well, our driving habits are going to have to change. If one thing, I don't know if this COVID thing taught us anything, but it taught us that people can work from home if they have to, and come in a little bit later or whatever into the office to hear the praises or the bereavement of their boss or whatever. So, you know, those kind of adjustments will probably become a way of life for us, unfortunately. I'm more of a social kind of guy. I like being around coworkers and what have you, but a lot of people adjusted fairly well to this stay at home, not have to put your pants on when they go to work in the morning.
That's why our bellies are bigger, because we didn't put those gym shorts, darn them. I'm done. Thank you.
I know. Thank you, Bob. But speaking of, and Aaron, you know, I know it's a state road, but I think they pressure cleaned finally the little concrete retaining wall for the bridge going over to the beach, over the intercoastal or whatever. Do you think we're going to get a little sprucing up of that bridge, or have you heard anything in that regard?
I have not heard anything related to the road improvement. So really our public works department coordinates with the county, our public works and our engineering on road improvements. So we deal primarily with land development. So those types of like county roadways or projects that are under other jurisdictions for maintenance, those would be something that we would have to pull that information for. But it's really, you know, kind of our purview is land development.
Yeah, well, they finally pressure cleaned the bridge, at least the part that we can see from our cars driving over in the back. So that's a sign. Even though we still have the ugliest bridge in Palm Beach County, going into one of the wealthiest communities in the world. So I guess we have bragging rights as far as that's concerned. Well, I don't have anything else, and I don't want to keep anybody any longer than we need to. And once again, I want to thank staff for your contribution to tonight's meeting, preparation and what have you. And all of you board members, I want to thank you once again for your confidence in myself and Anthony to continue to lead this board. And with nothing else to be said, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We got a motion, Danny. Thank you.
Second.
We got a second. Thank you, Juan. All those in favor, raise your hand and grab your briefcases.
Aye.
Head to the door. Thank you, guys.
Laura, by the way, nice backdrop.
Oh, you didn't give me.